What we do is we talk about sports. We talk about high school, we talk about college, and we talk about pros. Right now, it's a hotbed for football, so we'll be talking about football. Basketball season, we'll talk about basketball, and he knows nothing about basketball.
I know the Atlanta Hawks.
And he knows the Hawks lose. So, well, they didn't lose this year.
No, we didn't lose that many.
So I'm here to say with it. I'm glad that you guys are welcome us into your home, and thank you for having us up at what break of dawn here on the first Saturday morning, man.
Yep.
It's going to be. I mean,
it's going to be even more break of dawn in just about 3 or 4 more weeks when hunting season opens up.
Well, that's true. That's true. But we're talking college football right now, and they're going to be coming on after us here. So you can look us up on our YouTube page, which is
Armchair Sports.
And then you can look us up on Facebook, The Armchair Sports. You can email us if you have any questions or anything at thearmchairsports
or our website
at gmail.com. Or you could go to our website and get to all of those. You just give us a holler. We also we do attend all the Friday night rivals that are in Tallahassee. And they're on, like up here in Valdosta, it's the Winterville Classic. We've gone and done a couple things down there in Jacksonville with a couple of the games on the CW. So come out to the CW and see us there. Look for your local.
Tallahassee last week.
Yeah, I was in Tallahassee last week. Let me tell you something. I was this past weekend. Woo! I was there. But I don't know what else to say, so we're going to move on.
Okay.
So what are we going to do first? What do you want to do first?
You want to just go ahead and get it over with and announce? And I know we're in ACC country.
Wait.
In Tallahassee.
Let's do baseball first because we got baseball up right now, and we've got a baseball guru. Is baseball still going? I understand. From you were telling me, the man knows everything there is to know.
That's what he told me on a late night phone call. He knew
on that late night phone call. Well, so if you tell me that, you know what happened.
What you've got to realize is you can look on paper and look at who's got the best average, who's got the most home runs, who's got this, who's got that. That is a part of the game.
Correct.
But there's also the stuff behind the scenes, the leader role, the person that everybody comes to and leans on when something is not where it's supposed to be. Who is the guy in the dugout that's going down and saying, hey, look, you need to hustle down first baseline. And he's not a coach, he's a player. That's Freddie Freeman.
Okay, well, I disagree with you. Here's why. I think your player is you're not going to put that player in the Hall of Fame because he went down in the dugout and said this. You're going to put that person in the Hall of Fame because of the numbers that he has. Your Hall of Famers are going to be those people that have the numbers to qualify, number one, because they're not going to look at you. They may look at, for example, if you do football, the Walter Payton Award. You know, what is that in baseball?
That's the guy that does the most for the organ. You know,
Walter
for
Payton Award.
I know that. Yeah. What is that accumulative in baseball? Football has Walter Payton. What does baseball have?
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you mean. Yeah, but see, the Roberto Clemente Award.
Okay, so you know what? Okay, you get that award once, but I see people get in the Hall of Fame without having that.
Sure.
So, in 20 years from now, you're not gonna say Freddie Freeman was the best guy on this team because he was patting everybody on the back and on the butt and telling them, okay, go do a good job, and you need to make that run.
But he is also putting the numbers. He was the MVP last year.
It don't matter, Roger.
He's not this year.
He's in the talks. Yes, sir, he is.
He's in the talks, but you have even better players on your own team.
Understand this. Freddie Freeman, the first 2 months of the season, batted like 126.
Exactly.
He was absolutely atrocious. Now,
wait a minute, hold on. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Huh? You said he was atrocious. He said he was great.
For the first 2 months of the year, he hit a lot of balls hard, and he was hitting a lot of what I call atom balls. Okay, so but when you think that the first 2 months of the year he's batting, in the 200s, low 200s. Even below 200 at one point in time. Now he's at 296. Do you realize how good he had to be the rest of the year to get his average up to 296?
Yeah, I do.
He had to be batting close to 400. He went 32 at bats without a swing and a miss.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
So what you're saying is you want a part-time player. Because what you're saying.
That's why I'm sitting here quiet, because me and him have already had this
But
argument.
what you're saying though is it was okay for him for the first 2 months to bat 100, but for him to bat 400 in the middle of the season and in the middle of the year, that's okay because he's in the talks.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
How many times in your job have you ever had, God, this just is not going my way. I can't get things, I'm not doing this part of my job right. And I'm in a funk.
Do you not know me?
No, I don't.
I don't ever have that problem.
You're lying.
Okay. I might be.
You are. So, look, baseball, in my opinion, is one of the hardest things in the world to do sports-wise.
Okay.
Okay?
That's your opinion, though.
I said, in my opinion.
Okay.
Sports-wise, is one of the most difficult things to do is take a round ball coming at 96 mile an hour, moving this away, and now you got to hit that round ball with a round bat, and you got to hit it squarely.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, that's very difficult to do. And you've got a guy like Freddie Freeman that does it. He goes 32 at bats and doesn't miss not one swing did he not either foul it off or put it in play or something like that. That is unbelievable. And it's a 162 game season.
And how many bats is that over a season without the playoffs? So if you do 162 on the average of 3 bats a game, let's just say 4, and average, sometimes more, sometimes
Don't make
less.
me do math.
No.
we went to the same school. Math is not very.
we didn't have him say anything. You can do the math for us.
No, I'm just four.
So what it is?
So about 600 at bat.
Yeah, about 600. So you've got 600 at bats throughout the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
Go doing 28 of those in a row out of 600.
Yeah, 32
out of 600. Your average is pretty slim.
Oh God!
So you haven't got
this.
Let me ask
like
you.
I said.
Okay.
Seriously, and I'm
sucking
serious.
his teeth over there.
I'm just. We had this discussion.
Have you ever played?
Yes, I played baseball. Yes, sir. Sure have.
Okay. And it was easy.
Did I say that? That's words out
Hall
of your
of
mouth.
Famers.
So you think it's easy?
No, I don't. That's
Okay.
my point.
All right.
It's not. I just said a while ago, it's the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball.
Right.
All right. Hall of Famers fail 7 times out of 10.
Okay.
Okay. What Freddie Freeman does throughout an entire course of the season is average. I think his career average is like 307.
Okay.
It's Hall of Fame numbers.
Okay.
You keep putting in numbers. Say, it's about the numbers. About the numbers. He has the numbers.
He had the numbers as of last year. This year he doesn't have the numbers.
He had them before that.
Okay, that's fine.
He's 296. He's in Major League Baseball. He's 18th.
So the question I'm having is that he's 18th now. At the beginning of the year, he was what for the first 2 months when he batted 100.
Okay.
So my question
But you was ready to get rid of him before the season started.
You're right, I was. I don't think, me personally, I don't think he lives up to what he should be. That's just me, and that's just how I am, because I see other players. I compare him to Chipper Jones. Nope. I compare him
to
two
different top ball players.
Fred McGriff. Nope.
Played
the same play. Played the same base. Did everything.
Fred McGriff should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be. So I compare him there. That's who.
Fred McGriff didn't have the average. He had the home runs that Freddie has, but he did not hit for the same average. But Freddie has a better average.
My whole point is he's an overall better player as far as I'm concerned with Fred McGriff. Now there's tons of people out there, including yourself, that are going to disagree with me. But I'm entitled to an opinion, and that's what this show on Armchair Sports is all about.
Totally
no matter how wrong it is.
No matter how wrong it is.
Even though I'm right. But so that's kind of what I wanted to get out of this baseball thing is because the first thing I'm always told is, God, he's a great player. But
he is.
And to a point, I would say yes until I start looking deeper into who and what he's done consistently throughout this year. let's don't talk about this last year. Let's don't talk about. You can say he's MVP 100 times, but he gets out on the diamond this year, and you yourself admit that he goes 100 for the first month. Everybody's supposed to,
but pretty much everybody did the first month.
So, and I stuck with it though. I don't give up.
That's why it's 162 games. You don't.
That's ridiculous. Why you play so many games?
Because it's the greatest game ever.
Well, I understand it. It may be the greatest game ever. High school doesn't play 179,000.
Well, if you're at that one high school, you play 2 games in 3 days.
College will play 80-something. My son plays college baseball. He plays 80-something ball games
That's
a year.
not 130 games, though. That's my whole point.
But they're professionals.
That's without playoffs.
College doesn't play 17 ball games a year.
College what?
College football.
They sure don't.
That's
my whole point.
The NFL does. Why do they play 17? They don't need 15.
They play 15. How many games do they play a year? College football.
10 or 11?
12 is the regular season.
Okay, 12 is a regular season. Plus, they're fixing to have another. They're gonna bump this new schedule or this new tournament
16
thing
man.
to 16 man
Or 16
so
team.
They're gonna end up playing 3 more games on that. So they're gonna.
But NFL, then they got their playoffs on top of that. So
that's true. But
they
have because they have what 3 weeks that they go past that, and then there's that vacation time that nobody uses, and then they come in with the Pro Bowl, and then they come in with the Super Bowl after that. So you only have 2 teams in the whole league that are actually doing that.
Well, it'll be the same thing in college.
Yeah,
as they go down, they're
going to be playing that consecutively. So we're talking football. Let's move on from the Braves.
Okay,
and so.
That's what he does to me when he loses the argument.
I didn't lose the argument.
Yeah, let's move on to something else.
I just need to go ahead and move on because
talking loudly and a lot does not prove a point.
I talk loud and a lot all the time. Once you get to know me, you'll realize this is Roger 24/7. Am I right, Jimmy?
Man. Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
That's why I invited you on because I'm just tired of arguing with you. We know they're in first place.
It's like arguing with a fence post.
Real quick, what do you think? Is the turnaround since the trade deadline the moves or has something else?
That had a lot to do with it. Their pitching's come around, bullpens come around. That's one of the big things.
Bullpens with come Rodriguez
around.
In there.
I think bringing in Rodriguez. If now we just got to do something with Will Smith because in my opinion they need to give him
Let him bust a move.
Yeah, he needs to be. Somewhere.
So why don't you yell at him when he wants to send somebody on their way? Only me.
Because I agree with him on that.
Because I'm right.
So he agrees. So you're right.
Because I'm right.
We're going to edit this part out. When we're done, he's right. Anyway.
But no, I think Double A did a really good job, Alex Anthopoulos, of going out and getting some pieces to losing Acuna was a big loss.
Yes, it was. And
he tore his ACL. And he went out, and I'll be the first to say it. When right after that, he goes out and he signs Jock Peterson, and I stated, and you might have saw it. I stated on Facebook, I thought it was a reactionary move that wasn't going to pay off. And Jock's come in and he's held his own, but the other moves, going out and getting some of the other guys that he did,
Soler.
Soler. I mean. His average isn't there. He's batting like 226, but the Joker.
But it's when he's hitting.
But he's hit. He's had key hits. Mm-hmm. He had the big 3-run homer this past Friday night against San Francisco when they took 2 out of 3 from the best record in baseball, San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
I think Alex Anthopoulos did a really good job at the trade deadline by going out and getting pieces without selling the farm at the same time. And it wasn't like he went out and got this really big name player that's going to come in and do a lot. He got little pieces that allows Snitker the opportunity to make moves and do different things throughout the game.
So, with that being said, what would be your prediction on the Atlanta Braves in this year's? Now we're going to bring it back
in the postseason,
playoffs, in the postseason,
right?
And so, what would you say to everybody out there? Hey, this is going to be this, or I think the Braves can do this, or they can do this. What's your prediction for the rest of the year?
I see the Braves making the playoffs, and if they can keep their pitching where it's at, because when you get to the playoffs, you can have. I'll go back to the '95 World Series. Good pitching beats good hitting. every time.
Every time.
Okay, so it goes back to the pitching, and if we, if we hadn't lost Soroka, I would feel even more confident. I feel like we'll make the playoffs. We'll probably get a first round bye. I think that they'll be the 2 or 3 seed.
Yeah.
And then you got the wild card guys that have their play, and we'll have to probably either play the 2 or the 3 seed, depending on where we are. 1 seed to play the winner of the wild card. So we'll play a 2 or 3 seed, in my opinion, and depending on who it is and how we match up.
See, I was just going to say, because the way I was looking at it, because all the other divisions
are a lot tougher.
Because you're looking. So you're looking at this. They're going to automatically get in because they're going to win this region. They're going to win. Yeah, so they're going to be an automatic. Can they keep the trend going?
It's going to be it's going to be tough. I'll be honest with you. I mean, losing Acuna, that's a huge bat in the order, even with the pieces that's come in. So once again, I think it will boil down to matchups. Are we going to win a World Series? Probably not. We were 1 game away from getting there last year, and I told somebody last year we almost upset the Dodgers. The Dodgers were the best team in baseball last year. Okay,
right,
and we almost beat them. We were 1 game away. We had 3 wins. They had 1, and they come back and beat us. I said us, didn't I?
Yeah,
it was us.
He's deep. He's deep into this. Look, hang on just a second, because your passion is running over. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
Need a website for your business? Let Shadow Fox Design help. We will design and build your website, so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs, so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design. Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691.
Well, you still talking.
I know. That's why we're going to move on to football. All right. So who do you want to lead off with?
Let's go with the SEC announcing, because I know we do have some Georgia fans in the area, and it's going to concern them. The SEC has announced a COVID cancel policy that teams that can't play because of COVID, injuries, or other reasons will forfeit that game and have a loss in conference standings. Now, the question is, okay, well, what about the other team? If both teams can't play, both teams will forfeit and take a loss in the standings. So this is going to be very important with what's going on right now.
Well, you know what that does? Right away, what that does, it makes you protect your players from COVID and quit all this scuttlebutting around. And you know what they're trying to do? What they're trying to do, and he's licking his lips over here because I can see it coming. And he is a guest; he won't be back next week.
No, we're having him back every week. You got a text that said so.
No kidding. So I think what's happening is they're trying to force. We don't talk politics on this show. Just tell you that right now. So if you're looking for a politics show, find somewhere else. So we're only going to go this far and this far only. I think what they're doing is they're trying to force the SEC to have every one of their players vaccinated. And that this way, what will happen is if you get them vaccinated, you won't have these COVID problems. But we all know that people with vaccinations get COVID too. Wow. So I think that's what we're looking at right there. But anyway, it's not a political show.
There's more to it.
Go ahead.
The commissioner Sankey can declare no contest if extraordinary circumstances warrant, and in case of a tie, the tiebreaker procedures will apply for national conference conference championships and division winners. So it's not unfathomable, which is a big word for us.
No, for you.
Well, you can't even say it, so that's why you ain't trying.
Unfathomable. See, I did
But
it wrong again.
The tiebreaker procedures may be applied this year. I can see it happening with what's going on.
I see as plain as day false test. People coming in that are actually COVID positive, and they get things switched somehow. I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's too much money.
So now all of a sudden
way
you're going
too
to
much money
conspiracy
involved.
theories.
Yes,
We're not
I
going to get
am.
into conspiracy theories on this show, but I understand where you're coming from, which is a possibility. So there's no perfect way to handle this. I really don't think
There's
there
not.
is.
No, there's not.
There's no perfect way.
Because you got two different sides. Period.
Yeah, they're trying to do what they think is best for the SEC, and you know what? You're going to see that everybody else is going to start following that, and people are going to start doing those type of things. So they're just trying to get out in front of everybody. The SEC wants to be the beginning of everything, you know.
They're not.
I think they are, but
Yeah.
FSU over here doesn't. Exactly. Oh, by the way, just so you know, I say FSU because we're in the FSU area. Jimmy
And I am a Noel fan.
One of the biggest Noel fans that you'll ever see. So just putting that out there. So let's go ahead
and ask him who he's for.
So let's go ahead and get into it. So you said Georgia fans might not like this. So let's start with Georgia this year. The first game they're coming out of the season with, that'd be this afternoon. Mm-hmm. They're going to come out and they're actually playing Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about the comparables with Georgia against Clemson right now?
I think the comparable right now is who's going to get the better quarterback play.
Yeah.
I think Clemson's going to get the better quarterback play, but
really,
I do. I'm not sold on JT Daniels. In fact, there's some people in Atlanta that's not sold on JT Daniels.
I do have a cheat sheet. You'll see my cheat sheet every once in a while.
Now, having said that, I think Georgia's got a better defense. And I think it's going to be a close game, I believe. But I think Georgia's going to pull it out.
All right, we're going to let the guest tell us next what he thinks.
I disagree with you on JT Daniels. I think the one thing that JT does very good is he throws a good deep ball, spread the field open, and is going to help the running game, which Georgia's always known for. Now, the one thing that Clemson has, in my opinion, I think they have an extremely good defensive line. That's one of the things that Dabo talked about, said that this might be the best defensive line he's ever had. So JT Daniels, I agree with you that it's going to come down to quarterback play, but I think JT's going to have, number one, the experience of playing. You got a new guy for Clemson.
Yeah.
You know, Trevor Lawrence just leaving. So I think it's going to come down to JT Daniels outplaying the other quarterback and winning the football game.
All right. Just let's throw out a couple statistics here. You got JT Daniels. He threw for over 1,231 yards last year in how many games?
Yeah.
Five.
Yeah.
4 games. Well, maybe if you're counting the other.
5
what
games.
I read was 4.
So his in-game percentage is actually 67.2%.
And now this isn't
me. Wait a minute now. So now what you're also looking at is he is not only percentage-wise, he is one of the best quarterbacks coming into the SEC, coming back. And you can't really consider him a full-time quarterback because he didn't play all last year. They were trying to figure him out, get figured out who they were going to put there. So they get him in there, and he is literally 6'3", 210 pounds. Everybody's saying something about the DJ from Clemson and how big he is. Well, JT, he looks skinny, but he's there. He's meat. And I don't think this year they're going to be able to beat him to the ball. I think he's going to beat – now, I'm using basketball terms in football. I think what's going to happen, he's going to be able to outsmart some defenses this year. And the reason for that is because I think he is smarter this year and he knows what he's looking for because he's had more time in that front row seat all summer long, those 5 games all summer long. Now, when you get to JT Daniels, let's give a little bit of stats on JT. JT actually –
I thought you was talking about JT.
I'm talking about DJ. Get those facts. DJ is with Clemson. TJ.
You talking about ukulele or
Yeah, that's DJ.
yeah.
So DJ his average is 66.7. He has 78 passes for 178 passes, and he completed 78 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there just tells me it's kind of iffy. Now you take some of those that the wide receivers drop just on, we'll say 15 of them, maybe 20, but the rest of them that they're there. So if I had to look at average percentage to catching to receivers dropping, you're looking at probably about 80% for him. So he's going to have a better throwing arm. Does he have a scrambling, which you saw that he was able to scramble last year? So out of the two, who's the better player? Well, let's look at the offensive line. All right. Georgia has the largest offensive line in the SEC right now. Even compared to Alabama, I've got their stats. We'll get into those in a minute. But Georgia is average 6'6", 315 pounds. Average.
Okay.
All right. Whereas Clemson is an average of 6'5". Now, they're not in the SEC, but the average is 6'5" at about 300 pounds. Because they have a couple of players that are only 285 pounds, some of their offensive guards. So the question is, let's don't look at DJ or TJ. Let's look at their offensive line, which is going to allow them to throw the ball. Which way do you go with it? Who do you think at that position, now that you have the statistics and you know the offensive line, what do you think?
Well, you go back to the matchups. Clemson talking about that they've got the strongest defensive line that they've had.
Right.
In my opinion, when you look at Georgia football over the last 3 or 4 years, they've had big offensive lines, but they ain't done a very good job.
Right, because if you look at the Georgia offensive line right now, you notice I said that they were 6'6", right?
Right.
7 of those are 6'7" freshmen.
Yeah.
That aren't playing right now. So see, they're skewed because it's 6'3" to 6'5" that are actually going to be their starters if you look at their depth chart. So yes, now you've got the line of Clemson that may possibly take over the offensive line, which makes who? It makes TJ have to run around more, and he is a pure pocket passer. He is not a scrambling quarterback. JT, I mean. Yeah. So whereas DJ is going to be able to scramble and get the yards. I just don't think.
I think out of the two, ukulele's more athletic.
Ukulele?
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Ukulele.
That's how you pronounce it.
What'd I say?
Ukulele.
Okay, we'll change it the right way when you but anyway, I think he's the more athletic of the two. But we all know, yes, quarterback plays is a lot of what decides the game. But we all actually know the offensive line's it's going to be them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like y'all said, we can look at all that and do Georgia's line and Clemson's line, but at the end of the day, it's the offensive line versus the other team's defensive line.
Yeah, that's what we were saying at the end of it.
Yeah. I think, and that's why I went with Georgia winning, because I think they're going to be a little bit better than Clemson's.
I think that's going to be
I think it's going to be a closer game than some people think.
I don't think the Florida State Notre Dame. I'm sorry, Florida State, but I don't think Florida State Notre Dame is going to be that good because that's on Sunday. But I think between Miami and Alabama, that game is going to be awesome. And then you have the Georgia Clemson game. Those are going to be the two games to watch because look at where everybody's ranked in those two positions there. I mean, you're looking at Georgia, you're looking at Alabama, you're looking at Miami, and you're looking at Clemson. You've got 3 out of the 4 that are ranked in the top 10.
Well, here's the one thing. When you mentioned Florida State, Notre Dame, and I know we were talking about Georgia, but you brought up Florida State, Notre Dame. Yeah. Don't sleep on FSU.
Not this year.
Because
I agree.
Number one, they're playing against overrated university number 1 every year. They're a top 10 team and they always get beat. Okay, Notre Dame is overrated. They always will be.
Okay.
So I look for it. Wouldn't shock me if Florida State win that ball game.
Well, I think it's going to be
and it is in Tallahassee.
Yeah, it is. But I think what you're gonna see there is, I think you're going to see a good first half. I think you will. But I think the rebuilding that they're still trying to do at FSU, I think what's happening is, I don't think that they're going to go into that fourth quarter ready to rock and roll like Notre Dame has been in that game before, has been in that position, so they know what it's like. Florida State is not back in that position yet. I don't see it.
But
so I see the game being a close game up to around the fourth quarter. Then I think what happens is, I think Florida State, if they win, that's because they're going to turn into men in the fourth quarter. If they lose, it's because they still have not made it there in the fourth quarter.
They are still rebuilding. Coach Norvell is very happy with the offensive line. So if he says he's happy with it compared to what we've had lately, I'm okay with that. I think what you're going to see is them grow up. If they go into halftime and they're actually playing and in the game, it's not really going to surprise me if you don't see them say, hey, we don't suck as bad as we thought we did.
But it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish it.
Oh, it is how you start it too. Because if you can if nobody expects you to be in that game and you're in there at halftime, you get that confidence going.
I am saying that, and I know you want to get in here, but I am saying it's going to be a good ball game up until the half. But when you get to the third quarter, when you get to that point in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, I just don't know if Florida State can actually get it. That's how I'm looking at this right now, and it may change my mind, but I don't know. Go ahead.
Notice he said it's not where you start; it's where you finish. He didn't have that argument with Freddie Freeman a while ago.
No, he didn't.
You're right. And you know why I didn't have it that way? Because they would get back.
But see, what I'm saying is and Scott knows this too, there's a team in town that is everybody scared to play. And I'm not talking about our team. There's another team. But a lot of people don't want to play them because of who they were.
You're talking about Austin, yeah.
And we have seen, you and I have seen teams go in there and beating them at halftime and come out, and it's like they're like, man, we ain't supposed to be beating them. And then a second half, they couldn't do nothing.
Well,
couldn't get a first down.
Know this now. I'm a Valdosta fan.
Well, you know who I'm
every day of the year except one.
Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691. Need a website for your business? Let Shadow Fox Design help. We will design and build your website so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design.
Kenzie Milton get hurt and not know?
I have no earthly idea.
Because as of last night, he said it was between those two.
Producers, so we can only do what our producers tell us.
Get with it, Chris.
So it's one of those things that's I can only go with what I've got, and it's in black and white.
All right. So who you got winning Georgia, Clemson?
Georgia.
You go. I'm the host.
Georgia. Close.
I root for Georgia when I'm not rooting for Florida. Like you root for Lowndes when you don't root for Valdosta
Lowndes.
So I'm telling you right now, I think the ball game is going to come down to the last 5 minutes of the ball game.
Great.
And I think what you're going to find out, whoever the quarterback who has not been on the ground the most is the quarterback that's going to win that ball game.
Sure.
It's going to be the quarterback that can take their team to the end zone in a 2-minute drill. That's just my personal opinion. Or get them close enough for a field goal to win it.
So you're saying last guy with the ball?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go, just because you guys went Georgia, I'm going Clemson.
He's an argumentative type person.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so who do you have in Clemson? I mean, in Florida State, Notre Dame? That's tomorrow.
I am going to go with what most people are going to consider to be the upset. I'm going Florida State. Shocking the world, baby.
Shocking the world.
Doing it for Bobby.
You're doing it for Bobby. Oh, doing it for Bobby. Okay.
I like it.
Bobby, don't strike me down as I go with Notre Dame.
No more wide lefts and no more wide rights.
So I'm going to take Notre Dame in that. But I did tell you it's going to come down to that one also. I think that's going to be a good one. So let's talk about Miami, Alabama. Where I'm going to shock the world on this one. I am taking Miami all the way. I am taking.
See what
Miami
I got put up with.
That is shock. That would shock the world.
It would shock the world because I don't think Alabama.
Did you put money on it?
I would. Yes, I would. I mean, you can't in Georgia because it's illegal. But so at this point, I can't say that I have or I have not. But I would definitely. I think I'm going to go with Miami because I think Miami's going to hit them hard fast, and they're going to end up that ball game with the chain around their neck because the turnover ratio, and I think they're going to win the ball game because of it.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Wow. Yeah. No.
Don't beat around about it. Just say it straight out to me, okay?
No, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Alabama.
And you're going to tell me why you're going to pick Alabama. I tell you what. Tell me why we're going to pick Alabama right after this break.
Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691. Need a website for your business? Let Shadowfox Design help. We will design and build your website so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design.
So what? All right, we're back for the course. So tell me what you were getting at.
I mean, it's Alabama, and in my opinion, as much as it pains me to say it, as long as Nick Saban's coaching there, they're going to be good, and it's going to take something crazy to knock them out of that spot. And Miami ain't got it.
So my question is, do you think that Nick Saban can't have a down year and can't have one of those years he doesn't make the playoffs?
I'm not saying it's impossible. Very unlikely.
Okay. What about you? What do you think?
You said it's Alabama. I'm saying it's Miami. Miami will come out, say, hey, we're Miami. Remember us? Show the chain and say, what just happened?
It's not 1987.
What happened to the last 60 minutes?
And I agree with you. I think what happened is everybody is taking the underdog in this one, but I think what's happening is the underdog being Miami, and everybody's thinking the same thing we're thinking. We're leaving him out of this because he's just a guest. So my thing is, I really think that Alabama, they're starting their downward turn. They may not lose, but one or two games, but I really think that they're slowly starting to turn, and you're going to see the tide turn.
But why do you think that though?
Because their recruits And when you look at their recruiting class, yeah, they were number one or number two, but they weren't as big as they usually are. The big guys are going to Georgia. We just talked about Georgia with their freshman offensive line. To me, it starts on the offensive line. And the offense, Georgia just signed all those kids that are 6'7", 6'6", and 6'7". They're taking them away, just like what's going to happen in 2025. I think Saban's going to retire before then because he's not going to get the horses from Texas and Oklahoma because they're going to stay home to play to prove that Texas and Oklahoma are going to be good in the SEC for the first couple of years. So I think you're going to see Nick Saban's downfall is going to start this year.
I just disagree. I believe as long as he's coaching, he's going to have the talent. Now, Georgia has put a dent in some of it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, where are you going to win national championship?
Nick Saban.
It's got to go through the Mercedes-Benz is where it's going to have to go through.
Nick Saban could win with less talent on the football field because of his coaching style of complete and utter excellence all the time.
The process.
And
it's understandable with the process, and I understand where you're coming from with that. But what I'm seeing is you guys have anointed him, as you would have said on the show before, on one of our episodes, that you're anointing him the gods of football right now. And
as far as coaching college football, he is the GOAT.
He's earned it.
I don't think so. Because
how do you
he wasn't
anointed?
He was earned.
How many years? Let's go all the way back and look into football history. Who was the best ever football coach to come out of Alabama? You're telling me it's Nick Saban. I disagree.
Well, that's your right. Don't mean you're right.
Who was the coach in Alabama? Now, come on.
I mean, you're going to say Bear Bryant.
You're right, and he was hands down.
He changed the game.
Yeah,
back then.
Yeah,
and Nick Saban's changed the game today.
So he's changed the game.
There's two different eras.
But here's where I have a problem with that, because you always listen to these headaches about, well, it's Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or LeBron James. It's the era that they changed it. And you can't be the GOAT. The GOAT is the best. Who was the best? The best in Alabama history is Bear Bryant. And I'm telling you right now,
you're asking
my opinion,
who was.
I do not think, to this day, I think Bear Bryant's the best. And I do not even Nick Saban is a great coach. Don't get me wrong. But in no way is he taken over the seat of Bear Bryant. You guys have just lost your mind.
No.
But you're still mad because he left the Dolphins.
I won't disagree.
I'll tell you what happened to the Dolphins.
I won't disagree with you about Bear Bryant being the greatest. If you think he's the GOAT, that's great. Today, the greatest coach and the coach that is the man right now in college football is Nick Saban.
Well, you could say Nick Saban, or who's been up there with him doing the same thing was Dabo.
He's a close second.
So you have to. Well, that can be intertwined, because I know people that says right now that I can call up on the phone right now and says Dabo is better.
Dabo is considered a great coach.
Yeah. Okay. The 8th grade coach. What did you just say?
He said a great coach.
Oh, I thought you said the 8th grade coach. I was going to say, where are you coming from?
No, Dabo's
good. He is not considered the greatest.
I'm not saying
right
the greatest.
now.
I said now he is in the running
when he
with
succeeds.
Nick Saban.
Nick over.
I agree.
Alabama,
he's a very, very good coach. There's no doubt.
That's where you guys. I don't know that I would give the edge to Dabo, but I'm telling you, I would compare him straight up, apples to apples, right there, because that right there, to me, you're talking Bobby Bowden between the two of them.
Between Bobby and Joe Pa.
Yeah. So I think what you're looking at is those two are the other two, and that's just how I look at it. But still, the best coach to ever walk this earth was Bear Bryant, and I'm going to stick with that, because everybody nowadays is going to say, "Oh, it's Nick Saban," but you didn't know, you didn't see him do it. I did. So
you didn't see him do what?
See him coach.
Nick or
Bear?
You talking about Bear?
Yeah. So
you are a little bit older.
I am. I'm a way bit older than
about
you think
10,
I am.
12 years.
So anyway, 10 or 12. You're almost right.
But anyway, we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Follow up real quick with
no, we'll circle back.
We'll circle back. for those local, Valdosta State will be playing Savannah State tonight at 7 o'clock at Bazemore Hyder here in Valdosta. It's the first time since 1996 VSU comes into the game ranked number 6 in the nation. And I'll just flat out say, go VSU.
All right, so here's my question. Who's going to take VSU over Savannah State? All right, we ain't got to talk about that. Everybody on. Just move right on.
I think it's the first time we've agreed all night.
Isn't that the truth?
Your Jaguars.
Yeah, what
is going on with them? They're trading everybody. They are trading everybody.
Here, folks, you fixing to hear me say this, and I say this all the time, but I mean it this time. Here's what I'm going to say. I told you last week, and you said no. On
you read episode, it, then you told us.
Go back and listen to the episode that we. What episode
Can you predict it, Scott, Chris? If you read it and then tell everybody?
It was episode whatever. So my point is, I told you last week that they're going to trade him. That was the best thing they could do, and you said no way.
I said they would be stupid to.
Okay,
and so it proves that they're stupid.
Well, no, it's not, because it proves that they even let go of the other quarterback, Luka, that they had. So
So who's our backup now?
It's that kid from San Francisco. I don't even know what his name is, but
do they know his name?
Yeah, they know his name, and you know what? He's coming out, and he is actually proven that he should be the backup. He took it right away from Minshew. That's why they traded Minshew. That's why they were trying to trade Minshew. They traded
Minshew because they got value for him.
No, you know what they traded him for?
Yeah,
what value? It's
it was a sixth round, but it can go to a fifth.
How does it go to a fifth?
If he
plays in 3.
If he plays minimum of 50% of the snaps,
which is possible. In 3 games.
No, it didn't say that. It just said 50% of the snaps.
In 3 games.
Well, that's going to be done in Philly.
So that's if he plays it, then so it's going to go up to a 5th round. So they did exactly what they needed to do. They got something from somebody who wasn't that good. Okay,
still think he should have got backup running back.
He was not. I don't think he's a professional quarterback myself.
Well, what about Ed? Well, go ahead.
Minshew, yeah.
I'm good with it. I liked him. But anyway.
Well, yeah, I liked him as a person and his mustache and his long hair.
And y'all traded a cornerback.
Yep.
And Travis Etienne, we didn't even touch last week. He's out for the year.
Yeah, he's out for the year. You know why?
ACL.
No.
Why?
His second metatarsal is cracked and dislocated at the same time. So they had to go in and do surgery this past week.
You ain't just shoot him up and get out there like they.
Well, no, because this happened in preseason. They're not going to do it. So he had to have surgery on it. There was no way around it. So he had surgery. It's a possibility if they make the playoffs that he could come back then, but they don't think he's going to be back this year.
Boobie Miles could have come back.
Yeah, anybody could have come back. That's what everybody says. But my whole point is I don't think he's coming back this year. If they make the playoffs, maybe, but I just don't think he's going to be in condition.
Well, I think they've already put him on the IR anyway, so he can't play.
He has.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What you think?
It's pro football.
Okay, my Falcons.
All right, you know what? I had somebody text me yesterday on our Facebook Live, which you can get this on Facebook Live, by the way. Go to Armchair Sports or go to any of our websites or any of that other stuff. But somebody from there texted me and told me, we got to have this guy back. He is great. Keep him. I'm saying he don't know nothing about pro ball, so it's time to get him out of the door.
I understand where he's coming from. My Falcons.
You said we weren't going to talk politics.
Or Falcons, as I like to call it.
Is that the politics, the Falcons?
No.
Go ahead.
Don't get me started on that stadium, which was a nice stadium, don't get me wrong. And I'm telling you, folks, I got to give it to Arthur Blank. When we was up there the other day, they did have hot dogs for $1.50. He said he was going to keep the food affordable.
Yep.
It was very affordable, whereas in most places you're talking about.
Wait a minute. That was at a high school game, though.
No, it's at all games. It's at all games. He's promised all games the prices will be very affordable for families.
Well, somebody needs to take note of that.
You can get, and just give you a quick tip. If you go up there, you can get the Coke drinks in the cup, or you can get the bottle. Don't buy the bottle. It's $2 every time you buy a bottle. You get the cup for $2, and it's unlimited refills, which is unheard of. Period.
Right, yeah, no kidding.
So hot dogs were $1.50. The food, we ain't gonna get in that. Just it's very affordable. But
we ain't got enough show for talking about food.
yeah, we could talk about it all night. Kyle Pitts finally got to play.
Yep.
He played 2 plays, 1 reception, 27 yards. So everybody can get off the Falcons' rear end about that because everybody's upset he ain't played all year.
Why hadn't he played?
Because he's a superstar.
Well, no, he hasn't played. Here's the reason he hasn't played, and here's the best reason he hasn't played. We should have been playing ETN either. He got hurt. The same thing that happened when we went out and spent $80 million, Jacksonville did, to get Foles. He comes in, the first play, breaks his collarbone. So my thing is...
Well, some of them are getting hurt stepping out of a car.
I understand that. But my point is, I understand where they're coming from. That they're trying to protect their franchise right there. And they're saying this year he could be that one play for 27 yards.
Nobody's doubting that. But, what's going to happen now is you're not used to getting hit. And somebody's going to lay it because these boys in the NFL ain't like they is in college.
He's getting laid out at practice, I promise you.
He has a red jersey at practice.
Well, then, you know what?
Nobody's getting hit at practice.
Then he has to take it. Yeah, well, that's true.
Well, the undrafted free agents.
He has to take that hit. So it's one of those things that, I personally, I would have held him out too because that was their number one pick. You notice Trevor Lawrence played a half this past week. He didn't play hardly any in any of the other games. Most of the teams around the NFL, they're not putting him. Dak Prescott didn't play hardly any of these games. What's the running back for Dallas?
Prescott.
No, Prescott's quarterback.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott. So Ezekiel Elliott is playing. It hasn't played
every year the starters get to where they're playing less and less during the preseason because it's about the second and third string and finding out who's going to make the team.
And that's exactly what it is.
But as a fan, that's frustrating to watch because you're charging me full price to come see a product and I'm not getting the product that I'm promised.
Okay, look, they're not charging you anything because I ain't seen you buy season tickets.
I ain't going to watch no undrafted free agents.
I have season tickets. So I have front row season tickets.
I need them.
Yeah, now you need the tickets, okay?
Well, just for one game. It ain't me. You know who it's for.
Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691. Need a website for your business? Let Shadowfox Design help. We will design and build your website so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design.
So what you were saying about Atlanta, what is your biggest take in right now? Because we're not playing for another week.
Yeah.
So we're not going to stick around on this subject long. So what do you think about what Atlanta's doing right now to prepare for their first game? Do you think they rest them for this week and just do run-throughs?
The starters?
Everybody, because everybody else is gone because last Tuesday...
Well, you know who your team is now.
Yeah, you know who your team is because everybody's down to 53. Last Tuesday, they were at 53.
I don't rest them. As terrible as we've been, we need to practice.
Yeah, but do you think hitting is the
you
real
got
thing for that?
You got to hit. Have you seen them hit?
Full force with it.
The way we've played the last several years, they should be going full force. We've all been taught you play like you practice.
Right.
And they definitely.
So what happens if somebody gets and you're going full force?
That's the thing. At this point in time, you're going to coddle everybody. It's like when you in high school and you're playing, you have a hard practice Monday, you have a hard practice Tuesday, Wednesday brings down a little bit more. Thursday you got walkthroughs, and then Friday you got your game.
Right.
Okay. They're in walkthroughs. They're in
walkthroughs for 16 weeks a year. I do like what the coach has done because, like I told you earlier, in preseason, when the offensive line jumped off guard or jumped off sides, they did push-ups.
Yeah.
That's high schoolish stuff. You don't hear of that in the pros being punished because you jumped off
Well,
sides.
but see, that's another thing that we
It's
found
going
out
back to the basics.
a week and a half ago when the players were talking about Urban Meyer at Jacksonville, saying he's treating this like the college game. Well, the problem is they're not treating it like any game because everybody gets patted and coddled.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, do you jeopardize taking
Someone getting hurt?
Matt? Do you take Matt and put him on the field and he gets hurt going through warm-ups?
Would it be any less serious if he got hurt during the game because he ain't used to getting hit?
But he won't even get to that first game, so Felipe's going to have to come in and play.
No, we got Josh Rosen.
Oh, so Felipe didn't make the team, huh?
No, he's third.
That's what I thought. Felipe will come
because
in
A.J. McCarron was hurt.
Right. So the whole thing is, let's just face it, that when it comes to this it's a dead week as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
That's pretty much what we're going to call it. So anyway, so I think we've had enough, and
so are the viewers.
They've argued with me long enough. So I want to say thank you for watching. We're going to be here every week, every Saturday morning at 8. No, at 9.
At 9.
At 9. It's so early I can't even tell what time it is. At 9 o'clock.
We are at Mama June's on Perimeter Road here in Valdosta. So if you're in the area or whenever we're going to be in your area, we'll announce so you can come by, say hi, even sit down.
Right. And you can come by here during the week and sit right here in these chairs. And, you can act like us. Well, we're fools, so don't act like us. Wait a minute. I'd like to say
I was part of the us there.
Oh, that's true this week. But I'd like to say thank you. And I appreciate you coming out. And you know what? I'd really like to have you come back, especially when we start getting into the playoffs
in baseball.
Baseball, yeah.
I'd love to do it.
Because your baseball. I got to give you that. But I appreciate everything, and I appreciate Jimmy. No, I don't. Anyway, so we're going to go back. If you want to see the show, go to our Facebook, go to
website,
go to YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcast, that's where we'll be.